Hello and welcome to Square Raindrop. I'm Jo Wheeler.
And I'm Steff.
And Steff, we need to start today with today's excuse for why I'm not riding my new bike.
Do you have a new bike?
I do have a new bike. Well, it's a new to me bike.
That's terribly
and
exciting.
One of the first excuses was the fact that I didn't have an adapter for a Schleder to pistol valve. I think that's what it's called. I'm just getting in with the bike for
eternity. You're talking foreign language right now, Jo. I have no clue what you're talking about. You lost me at the word bike.
I've been out on it once and then I decided this weekend it's probably a bit cold. Do you think it's a bit cold to be riding a bike? And there's a chance of a shower. Best not to go out if there's a chance of a shower. So, no, my bike stays in the garage for another day.
It's also quite windy, Jo. You might be swept off into the North Sea. We'd never see you again.
Altogether too dangerous, so that's not going to happen. And that starts us very nicely off on what the weather's doing at the moment, because it is supposed to be spring.
Well, spring, remember the drip, drip, drip little April showers that I will not sing to you because it will make your ears bleed, but it gives you an idea that in spring we are supposed to have showers. So this is kind of showery kind of weather where we have the warmer air fighting with the colder air, and where they meet, poof, there you get the showers. But it's cold.
It is perishing. I went outside yesterday morning. The north wind was tearing across my lawn. I took one look, went back inside.
I went to get the kids from school and I've been sitting by the windows and it's all lovely and I'm quite nice and warm, and then go outside and freeze. So yes. But I did have a bet with my other half yesterday he doesn't seem to appreciate my knowledge. So I say to him, you do know my job, don't you? And he says, yes, but my app says. He's one of those. So he looks on the Apple map, which uses the GFS forecast, a model, which is the US model. So it's not always as accurate as, say, a European one on a smaller scale. So he looked at it and he said, it says sunny all day. I said, Felipe, it is not going to be sunny all day. And I was so confident that I said, I bet you dinner for the entire family. I will give you dinner for the entire family if it doesn't rain by lunchtime. And he said, it won't rain. I will buy you a box of chocolates if it does. So I got the bad end of the deal there, because really I should have said, no, it's dinner or nothing. But I was okay, fair enough. And now I am the proud owner of a box of chocolates.
That is extremely good news. Sorry, I'm fighting off a fighty cat. It was a bitey cat last week. Now it's the fighty cat. Won't leave me alone.
Is it also a mighty cat?
Mighty cat, fighty cat, bitey cat. Got so many of them, it's really hard to say. Anyway,
I'm now thinking of Mighty Mouse.
Yes, yeah, bit of a different slant on it. So just to get the grim bits over and done with, looking at the weather this week, I have to say, and not a lot of people know this, it's not just you and me, Steff, that talk to each other. We talk to other weather people too. And I was talking to Simon Partridge at the Met Office, and he laughed about the weather this week. But I said, it's not looking good, is it? And he went, ha, 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 no. And I'm thinking, tell me what was funny about that.
Oh dear, it's got so bad. All the forecasters are laughing about just how bad it's been. Yes, not good really, is it?
No,
just
still low pressure.
There's just not that sunshine, that sunny period. You know, we only really want a week and we could be all right. But no. And it's about this time of year when lockdown started 4 years ago.
That's true.
Remember the weather then?
It was amazing, wasn't it?
Glorious. As soon as they said schools are out, the sun came out and everybody was like, whoa, look at the sun. This time, not likely.
No, although I know that you don't like the crystal ball, but I've got a fondness for it, particularly when it gives me a glimmer of hope. So looking ahead to the start of April, literally April Fool's Day, although that could be a catch in itself, it does look like we've got a bit of a high building out towards the west, which, if it happens, and it's a long way off, and obviously the days after are even further off, but it looks like it might hang around for a few days, but it is a northwesterly high, which means it could be a little on the chilly side. Put the swimsuit away.
I guess the important thing is the word, or are the words, if it comes off. Because you and I know, if you look at a forecast for like 2 weeks in advance or whatever it might be, we know that it's just an idea that may happen. It's one of many. and you should never, ever hang your hat on that. What is quite likely is if lots of models say there's a high pressure, it's probably going to be more settled than unsettled. Exactly where that high pressure is probably is still open for a lot of interpretation between now and then. Now, the issue I have is when non-forecasters take a look at forecast charts and write a whole blurb in a newspaper, perhaps, as they did just the other day, to say that we've got, what was it, a 300-mile snow wall coming to. I was like, really? Are we still there? Oh, have we not moved on from this yet?
I saw that. I saw that, and I saw your reaction to it. I thought, that's fair, Steffi. That is fair. It's certainly didn't look particularly likely to me. But I mean, they'd love a good weather headline. You know, if there's anything that can really whip up like a tornado, yeah, they're going to do that. But as we look towards this week, which again is going to be governed by low pressure, and the cats get off.
It's quite stocky, your cat. Are you sure it's not sort of half cat and half jaguar?
Well, it's hard to tell next to the dog. Everything looks small. So, you know, it could be. It's very, very hard to say. Anyway, yes, it's looking very unsettled this week, but could just get a little bit milder.
Yes, I mean, it's not hard really, is it? It's pretty chilly out there. And it's the wind. That wind has a real, whoa! The cat just slaps Jo in the face with her tail. The wind has a real bite to it. So you go outside, and if you're in the shelter, yes, it's cold. If you're in the sun in the shelter, it's cold, but there is a warming effect from the sun. As soon as the wind hits you, though, that's it, freezing.
Well, yesterday morning, having found out how cold it was, I put on the equivalent of a thermal hazmat suit to go and deal with my car, which has been suffering from water in the passenger footwell. And when I say you're suffering from water in the passenger footwell, I mean, you stick your finger in it like that, and it probably comes up to there with the water.
Oh, no.
Okay. So,
The passenger side, though, not your driver's side.
It is the passenger side, but I have a notoriously short memory. So every time I get in the car and I put something down in the passenger footwell, of course, I take it out and it's all soaking, including my shopping. Yeah. So I got the carpet cleaner out on it. Do you know how much water I took out of the passenger side of the car?
Well, if it's that deep, maybe 2 litres?
Well, 7.5 pints. What does that equate to?
Oh, my goodness. Pints? 7.5 pints? Well, it's about 2 pints per litre, isn't it? So let's say that's about 4.
Yeah, about 4 pints of water.
4
No,
litres. 4
4
litres.
litres. That's right, 4 litres. Sorry. Do you know something? I'm feeling a little slow today because the wicked witch of the nasty colds visited me midweek and smote me or smite me, struck me with a cold, from which I'm finding it very hard to recover. It kind of came down for about 48 hours and then appeared to vanish. And then I woke up yesterday morning going, Ugh. So anyway, what I really wanted to do was go out and remove all this water from my car, although actually I did. And that was when I experienced the showers. And they were nasty too. In fact, they probably accounted for another half litre that came into the car through the door whilst I was trying to clean it.
Oh, no. We had some hail here. Yeah, so the showers not only were showery and heavy, but they also brought a fair amount of hail and thunder. Did you see any thunder? We did not.
No, well, of course, on the East Coast, I was about as far away from the origin of these northwesterly showers as you can get. But it was funny because I was chatting to my neighbour who said her parents had had a shower with hail, and that would be down Luton way. And I'm going, yes, like I said. She goes, well, it wasn't on the app. I'm going, there we go, it's not on the app. But that's what I said. You could have listened to me, but
Yeah,
they don't.
that's the
It's
thing.
fine.
Apps
What can I say?
limited in their health.
You have had your eldest son on his first sleepover this week.
Well, he's been on sleepovers, but it's his mother that doesn't really like other children. Did I say that out loud? So he has finally worn me down and said, Mummy, can I have a friend to sleep over? And I went, do you know what? Okay. So we bit the bullet and he had a friend to sleep over. And his friend's normally quite energetic and normally comes with his brother around, and the pair of them, they're like a bundle, a tornado of energy. And he came around and he was the most chilled out, laid back little boy you have ever seen. And I was like, you can come again. So there you go. It was a success.
Didn't have to call the parents at 2 a.m. going, I'm really sorry, he's upset, you'll have to come and get him.
No, or I'm upset, you'll have to come and get him. No, but
Which
they
is
were
the other
lovely.
one.
They lay in bed chatting away for ages, giggling away. It was really lovely to see, and then eventually dropped off. And then the next morning we're up early, but we kept Mia. So I thought, how can I make Mia sleep a little bit more, the younger sister? So I thought I'll just pop her in the bed with us. Well, then she slept on my head all night. I got zero sleep. And in the morning, she woke up. As soon as she heard them, she's like, they're awake, mummy. I can hear them. Like, well, that didn't work. And I got no sleep. But other than that bit, the actual sleepover bit did work.
And of course, you've got all the joys of having small children and the clock's going forward next week on the same day as Easter.
I'm just going to give them sugar. I'm going to give them the chocolate. When they start kicking off, I'll be like, and have another Easter egg. That's fine. Actually, we've got a couple of the little Easter bunnies that you can get. We're going to hide them around the garden so they can go and, well, spend a few hours outside looking for them. I'll hide them really well.
And leave the door on a self-locking latch. So once they've gone out, they can't get back in again.
Oh,
Yeah, it
just
should
like
be
my
fine. Years and years ago, I had a sleepover and I had this tiny little bedroom that had a doorway in it and some shelves. And the top of the shelf was flat, so you could actually climb up the shelves and we could sit at the top like you do. And so we decided to have a midnight feast and we collected all this stuff with our pocket money. And one of those things was a jar of silver skin onions, which she must have chosen because at the time I'd never eaten a silver skin onion. But as we sat up there, yes, you get them in jars, they're kind of like pickle type things. And so we decided to have our midnight feast about 10 because we were tired. And the one thing we couldn't do was open the silver skin onions. At which point, you see, very slyly, I pushed them into the kitchen cupboard the following day. My mother was so baffled for years. She had no idea where these silver skin onions had come from, nor why we couldn't open them, because nobody wanted to eat them. So the mystery has been revealed. There you go.
How funny. Well, I'm now going to have to go away and Google silver skin onions.
You can just pick them up from the corner shop and look at them and go, gosh, what were those? Now, I also made a major error this week between the equilux and the equinox.
Oh, no.
It's easily done.
So equilux is when there's equal light, daylight, and obviously no light in the nighttime. So the length of the day is exactly as long as the length of the night. But that happens just before the equinox, which is when the sun, on its journey northwards for our summer, crosses the equator. So there's a slight difference between when the planet's here and when we're getting exactly equal amounts of daylight and night.
Daytime, nighttime, daytime, nighttime.
Nighttime, daytime, nighttime, daytime, nighttime, daytime.
What are you doing?
Having a game of nighttime, daytime. You want to play?
No, you're right, I got an Xbox.
Either way, both happened only a few days apart. The important thing is we now have more daylight than we have nighttime period. So the days are longer than the nights, and that will continue until the next equinox, which is about the end of September. So we've made it, Jo. We've made it through the dark period. It is now light. I mean, it's cold.
Now grey.
Cold and it's showery, but at least it's daylight.
We've got an extra hour of grey. I'm so happy. Yeah, I can just gaze at that cloud for a little bit longer each day.
Well, hopefully it'll break up a little bit at times.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's forget the UK for the moment. You are going great guns with your personal forecasts. So many appreciative people. And you've got a special request this week.
Yes, off to New Zealand, where there is a gentleman who has a 97-year-old mother-in-law. And his son is coming back from India for a little visit. So all in all, it's a very exciting time.
That is a very exciting time, and we look forward to seeing it. And if anybody would like a personal forecast, they can contact us at...
Well, if you're on Twitter, or X, as some people call it, there are not many I've noticed, it's at Raindrop, because Square Raindrop didn't fit. Or you can email us at weather@squareraindrop.com.
And also, of course, that squareraindrop.com is where you'll find the website, and you can find lots of stuff in there.
Yep, it's always full to the brim is the word I'm looking for, not brim to the full of all sorts of weather stuff. That's all terribly exciting.
It's that wicked witch cold lady again. She's come to get you. But if anybody would like a personalised forecast, just a reminder that it does go out on X or Twitter, probably on Facebook as well. You'll see it in several places. So, and YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. All of those. So if you light your name up in lights, that's great news. If you just actually want to know whether it's raining and don't wish to be mentioned, that's a little more unfortunate. But contact us with anything. Keep watching, because Steffi, you're on fire at the moment, probably because you're cold. And you are posting pretty much every day.
Oh, there's always something up there every day, usually weather related, if I'm honest.